G'day guys, my name's Josh. You can call me JaWoodle, and welcome back to 7 Days to Die in Alpha 19, where I am back in my testing world to answer a question that I get a whole lot. It's one of the most common questions that I get on any video I ever post, and that is, what do I think the best and easiest bases are for the new update? I've done a lot of testing in the past, I've built a lot of bases in the past, and each alpha has its own little kind of quirk, its own little special salt, special sprinkling that makes it unique, in which case it changes which bases are going to be the best each time you go into it. So I've got a couple of things in mind, or specifically two bases in mind, one of which is a cheese base. If you want to completely cheese the horde from like day one, then you can do it pretty easily, or if you want to go non-cheese, if you want to stand there and risk your life and fight off the zombies, there's a base for that too. So I'm going to quickly go out there, build a couple of different options and show you guys what I think the best bases for Alpha 19 are going to be. But the first thing we have to do, as always with this kind of thing, is find a spot to build. The new JaWoodle park isn't particularly open or easy to access, so to find somewhere that's a reasonably flat surface. I will show you guys what you need to build this thing and build it from scratch up from the very bottom to the top so you can see what it does. None of these bases, by the way, are going to be able to handle late stage game hordes. No radiator cops, no demos. By that point, go and build yourself a better base. This is just something to build nice and easy, nice and early in the game to keep yourself alive so you can fight a bigger and harder horde later on. This is like a pretty good spot here. I'll build something just on top of this little ridge here. Yep, no, this will do nicely. We're just gonna start with about 5 wide, I think. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yep, and we're gonna go 3 deep as well. Just make myself a little platform just to build on. Doesn't have to be much, but just some way to even out the ground and make sure we're building on a nice level surface to start with. By the way, I said that these bases won't handle late game stage hordes. That was a weird I don't want to go reinforced wood just yet, just normal wood. Boom, there we go. Don't know why I didn't do it properly the first time. But yeah, these bases aren't, I wouldn't think will stand up to a late game stage horde. They just won't. Radiated cops and demos and stuff, not gonna happen. So by that point though, I mean, that's, we're talking, day 42 or something like that, like well down the track when those hordes start showing up. So by that point, build yourself a killing corridor, build yourself a hatch hallway, something that's designed to handle something bigger, something harder, and you'll probably have more guns and stuff to deal with by then too. No. Go away. Go away. Not dealing with you just yet. You can call in zombies later. Right now, I am building. I ain't dealing with you and your stupid night frock. Piss off with that. We're going to go up to here as well. Yep, up like that. Just expand that platform a little bit. So yeah, later on in the game, you should be able to build yourself a better base. This is just something for like, it's midday on day 7 and you haven't prepared anything and there's a zombie horde bearing down on you. That's what this is more designed to deal with. Like that idiot, just like little Muppets cruising up the hill when you don't want them to. Now I have tested this base with just 3 wide, not necessarily 5 wide, but having it 5 wide, and in fact you could go 1 deeper as well just for safety, makes it easier for you to stand in the correct place, because a lot of this stuff is based on where you as a character are standing. Like if you could build yourself a castle, but if you stand in the wrong spot on the outer wall, the zombies will attack somewhere you probably don't want them to be. So you have to keep in mind how the zombies are going to approach where you are when you're actually building these kind of things, to take that into account. So we've got this little step here, and what we're going to do, now that we've got the new shape menu in Alpha 19, which makes it so much easier, we're going to grab ourselves wedge tips. The godsend that was, or these were in Alpha 18, coming again in Alpha 19. In fact, all the updates they've made to Alpha 19, they've made wedge tips even more effective than they were before. So we're going to put those there. In fact, we're going to get our normal frames back again. We're going to go 1 more further up. So it's now 3 by 3 with a little notch taken out of the side of it. That's fine. You should be able to build that nice and quickly, nice and easily. Not using a whole lot of resources to do this. Like 1 or 2 trees to give you enough to make this happen. So the funny thing is, even just something like that will hold off the horde to an extent. I mean, that's what, only a couple of blocks and a few bits of resources, not much at all to get to this point. But if you, to get up there, you probably just get yourself a ladder. You just need probably 1. If I could grab it, please. Okay, I don't know why that was so difficult for me. Grab that one. Just put like 1 ladder at the back. Boom. Like that. Right in the middle. It's 2 blocks high, so zombies can't grab it. But you can if you're not a muppet like me. There we go. Up the top. If you're not a flapping galah, you can get there nice and easily. And to make this, You know what? Let's just run it like this. I have a way to expand on this, make it even more like zombie-proof kind of thing. But I reckon if you just set up here with a blunderbuss and like a club or something, you could probably take on most of what's coming at you without too much trouble. Now, I am a bit further on in the game. Like, where am I? What is my actual my game stage? Right? Game stage 24. The first horde is usually like, you know, game stage 10 or less, somewhere around there. So we'll have more zombies showing up when I set the horde off now. But that's okay. I'm going to see how the zombies pass, see how they come up. So when you're fighting the 4 or 5 zombies in the day 7 horde, you won't have too much of a problem. Here we go. It's about to be the horde. Let it tick over naturally, then put the speed back down. Just put some lanterns down as well, just so I can see what's actually happening. Now, what I'm looking for here is how they actually react to this. If I stand right here, I should run up, jump up onto this little wedgy block down here. There we go. Then I can sit here and have my way with them. Now, this is why cheesing AI is so important, because, like, you probably can't stand here and fight them off easy enough just as is, and it will slowly break down the block that you're standing on. They also have that problem where they can, like, World War Z themselves and get up to the top. But if you just slowly move around like this, so you can, like, you know, focus their attention onto different blocks, then you should be reasonably okay. If they don't pile up like that, you'll be alright, but that's why we had to expand on this thing. This is just like the proof of concept to start with. It'll get better, we just need to add a couple of things to it, but if they're all coming up and standing on that little wedge block down there, then we're A-okay, we're already cooking with some serious gasoline. Right, proof of concept out of the way, that's all that was. I just wanted to see to make sure the zombies would work the way I want them to. That is, they come up here and jump onto this bit. You could, like, expand on this and go down the bottom and make more of a ramp for them to run up, kind of like what I did with the Wastelands base in the car park. In fact, this design is going to be very similar to that, or when it's all said and done. But you could leave it like this. I'm trying to leave it as minimalistic as possible. The less resources and blocks you have to use, the easier it's going to be to build. So we have that there, and they jump up to the top. But we want to stop them from World War Z, or World War Z, no, it's World War Z. World War Z themselves up into a zombie pyramid so they can jump up onto the top. And to do that, we have to make ourselves something a little bit sneaky, something a little bit overlooked half the time. Wood fences and railings. I'm going to need, what, like 5 of those. So make those, put them down in my hopper, and we're just going to stick them just as is. You could use any of the shapes that you wanted, as long as it's flat. We're just going to stick that, boom, down on the bottom like that. Now you can upgrade these to be like normal wooden sheets, like that. Turns it into something nice, doesn't have to be. As long as it's the same profile there, it will still work. And on the other side of that, we're going to go into our shape menu here. What's going to be the best option here? I think the best option is a wood plate. We'll get the wood plate and we'll stick it up onto the roof like that. Now, I know this is breaking physics a little bit, but that's okay. We're using 7 Days to Die physics, not real life physics. And just like that, we now have like a block on top of them to stop them jumping up and getting up to the top of you. Now, common sense here would probably dictate that you upgrade these blocks along here as well. That's where the zombies are going to be hitting the most. I'm not going to use any iron at the moment, it's going to get it upgraded to that. Now again, this is designed for like a day 7 or a day 14 horde. So like 10 zombies, 12 zombies maximum, but only really like 4 or 5 at a time. Not too much of an issue. I'm finding bigger and badder hordes than this base is really designed to handle right now. But I'll give it a quick little test run and show you guys what it's all about, because this will work. This will stop the zombies coming up, getting up here and smacking the chops. You can reach through there with your club or your spear. In fact, let's do that one. Let's get a spear, a tier 5 spear. Sure, just grab one of those. Thank you very much. Put that in my hopper, because that will allow me to sit up here and just like a reach through there and stab down into the zombie faces when they come up. Pretty bloody simple. So you can melee, you can range, you can whatever, but this should hold them off reasonably well. But I'm going to say that, and now I'm going to test that. Here we go, here they come, scattering over the dunes out there, they're coming for me. Now the best place to be, I think, is right in the center here, right on the edge of that plate we put down. It means we can reach through with the spear, but we also have the blunderbuss. They should come up the top, yes they do. There you go, bang, shoot him in the nose a couple of times. We'll also reach through and go the cheeky deeky little stabby stab and just ruin all of their expensive surgeries. They spent all that time and money getting a brand new nose and now you're dislodging it from their face. That's okay, that's what happens when you come up against a zombie apocalypse like that. So yeah, this is a bigger horde than you probably face here. Clearly this is made out of wood as well, so it's not particularly great. But I think I just heard them break down one of those blocks down there, which they will do. We're not cheesing it. They are going to be there. They are going to destroy this over time. So if you had some cobblestone, some flags or whatever to upgrade this, it'll be even better again. But just as like a proof of concept, see, it's working fine. Super easy, super simple to build. It's all about putting the zombies where you want them to be so you can kill them a little bit better. And as you can see, you can reach them with whatever weapons you've got and you can kill them just fine. Just doing a quick little like circuit around the back of the base here, just to make sure that no zombies have come up somewhere else and got stuck somewhere and started beating on the base itself. Not really a base, I suppose, more of like a fighting platform. But this is kind of, I mean, this is the mechanic that I think is actually really useful to use, where they jump up onto a wedge platform, and that wedge tip is making like a 1.5 block jump for them to get up to, a 3 meter jump in the game's mind. They can't get up there by themselves, but it enables you to still access their head. So if you use that mechanic and apply it, you can upgrade it however you want. You can put walls on it, or make it like a 4-pronged attack kind of thing, a set of platform with 4 of these near the side. You can do whatever you want if you've got friends to play with or whatever, but like that idea can be applied and expanded on however you kind of want to, which is exactly what I'm going to do right now. The rest of the base is pretty spick and span, so no real worries there. So I'll quickly just murder all these zombies and go back to daytime, because what I want to do, you can see they're like starting to beat through the base itself, because I mean that's the weakness, that's what's going to be. They're going to hit those blocks, they're going to want to come through and ruin your lunch, just like a goddamn ibis drinking its bloody bin juice right next to your picnic. So what I might do, I might quickly get myself some cobble and just upgrade some of this. Cobble's super easy to find. In fact, I'll see if I can show you what they come in. These things here. If you're new to the game and you're not sure how to get cobble, these pallets is how you do it. You find one of those things, you get yourself a shovel. They're in most of the POIs, like any sort of barns or anything like that are really good for finding these things. You dig that up, you get cobblestone. Super easy, super fast to find. Find a couple of those things, dig it up, and make yourself some flagstone blocks, or just upgrade from wood. And before you know it, bam, we're up to the next tier of materials. Stronger, better, more easy to stand up against the fleshy meat fists of the zombies, despite their automatic sledgehammer hands. This will go a whole lot better. So because I'm feeling a little bit more confident than what I'm probably justified in feeling, which, I mean, wow, that's so uncommon for me. Why would I ever feel like that? It's so weird for me to feel like that. All I'm going to really do is put a wedge tip on just like kind of around the base down here, just to kind of give them that little extra little bit of a leg up so they don't get stuck on this corner over here. The same reason that when I'm building stairways like this one over here, I build it out into like a little pyramid thing to give them less hard angles for zombies to get caught on. That's the theory, that's the plan. So we're going to do that with this one over here. Just expand that around there. Still out of wood, and I'm only going to upgrade the center kind of channel here into cobblestone. They shouldn't worry about coming around the back here. They can say, well, this is kind of extra. In fact, you know what? We could just go, let's just go like this. Let's just get rid of all of it. We never need this stuff at the back here. We can get rid of all of that. All we need is a place for us to stand a little bit easier at the top, so we don't actually get distracted by killing zombies and fall down into the horde. Because trust me, trying to make that ladder jump when it's 2 blocks high and you got to nail it the first time or else die, that kind of pressure, if you're anything like me, not great for actually performing. It's like the anxiety kicks in, performance anxiety. I can't do what I want to do, then it's embarrassing, then you spiral and it gets worse. You just don't want performance anxiety in any facet of your life, especially when you need to get up there, when you're able to get up there and do the job. So we're up here, this should be fine. We just upgraded the blocks where the zombies are going to hit. So we're going to stand up here again with our speary boy, wait for them all to come over here, see how long it actually stands up to it. The only issue I can kind of see here, in fact, what you could do if you want to be really cheeky, no, that was the wrong thing. I want to get this one, is destroy these ones here, because if you want to be able to like upgrade or repair the blocks underneath as the zombies destroy it, which is probably a really good idea, especially if you have a nail gun, you're going to need to be able to see it. So I'm going to get rid of those sneaky deaky little plates. I'm not going to bother spawning in zombies. Actually, I'm just going to call in the horde again, get them over here, get them rocking and rolling just before Horde Night. Call in naturally. There we go. All right. What are you going to throw at me this time? What are you going to throw at me this time? Where are they all? Their AI is off. Get over here. Come test my wicket. Come give me a bouncer or two. Yep, so far so good. They're just coming up to where the cobblestone is. Now, I mean, really, if you had some water or some, some Mega Crush or something like that, you could probably do this. Or if you spec'd into -69er or any of the perks that give you some more stamina, you could just stand here all night and just stab away. I don't have those perks on, so we'll just turn on God mode to get my stamina back. But they're not actually doing a whole lot of damage. If you can keep up the attack, not actually doing that much damage to the blocks themselves. A little bit to the plates up the top here, a little bit to the blocks down the bottom, but so far, kind of so good. Let's get the Blunder Boy back up. No one's coming up the top, no one's using the ladder. We're pretty much fine. So you can just fire into the crowd pretty indiscriminately. The Blunderbuss has enough spread to hit a couple of them each time. You can kind of aim between them if you really need to. Let's have a quick little look at what's going on with the rest of these. You've taken a bit of damage, you've taken a bit of damage. 1 and 1, gets them back up to full strength again, and go back to stabbing. It's all about using the resources efficiently. You only have a little bit of cobblestone. If you do, a little bit here and there goes a long way if you use it where you're going to need it most. Force the zombies to attack the weak, or the strongest part of your base, not the weakest part of your base. If they decided to destroy the wood, they'd be up here in 2 seconds. Zombies are dumb though. We make them dumb though. This item is cactus. Let's just quickly go like this. Got enough time just to think about that. Scrap that. Repair you. How's my blocks going? Still fine. Still fine. Easy peasy. It's all just got to keep the zombies where you want them. You've got to play smart, not hard. Doesn't matter what you build, as long as you build something that forces the zombies where you want them to be. I am kind of curious if I can actually fight off. I mean, this is a reasonable horde, especially for an early game. This is like kind of a mid-game horde, I suppose. But like, I'm curious if I can fight off a horde like this with nothing but a blunderbuss and this base. Yes, I have a nail gun. In fact, you know what? Let's, because I know someone's gonna get mad at me about that. Let's get myself a stone axe. Stone axe, what you would have if you were playing as well. Grab one of you. I think my shift key is stuck down or something. That's okay. Quickly just repair you. You can still repair it faster than the zombies can damage it. So you don't, like, not a whole lot of real worry there. All the way back up to full. Get you repaired as well. Okay, back to the Blundy boy. I can do this all day. They're not going anywhere else. They're in a nice little pocket of zombified awfulness. That nice little hunk of zombified flesh where I'm firing my blunderbuss into. And we're fine. We're okay for the moment. So interestingly, occasionally, especially after zombies take damage, they sometimes go into destroy everything mode, and they might run across. In fact, I'll quickly just pause the horde so I can show you. They run across and attack some of these blocks over here. Like if I get my axe out, a little bit of damage on either side of it. Not a massive deal. They only go there for a couple of seconds before they come back again. There's like little like incidental damage, little collateral damage around the place, but nothing too bad. Let's turn the AI back on while I go back to repair this, because that's part of like the whole challenge of it. Well, look, I can still repair that block with no real worries at all. Yes, you probably should be a bit more discerning about where you fire the blunderbuss. Try and get as many kills as you can. Like, if any weaker zombies, pick them off first, because the less zombies are actually down there causing you issues, the less damage is going to be done onto your base. But this would be fun. I'd have no doubts about taking on a horde with this kind of layout. If you got the blunderbuss, or even just a spear and some perks that give you the stamina buff, no real worries at all. Melee, ranged, bow and arrow, you'd be fine here. You'd be A-okay here. As long as you remember to keep repairing the block you're standing on, you've got nothing to worry about. So it seems like I've actually, this game stage is just gonna be one of those like infinite hordes, but the first couple of hordes, the horde does eventually stop. You kill a certain amount of zombies and then the horde will stop. Usually about midnight kind of thing, but with time slowed down, I have no idea what time would normally be. We've gone 45 minutes of the time being the slowest I possibly can. I'm sure someone out there smarter than me will be able to figure out how long it would have been in a normal game. But so far, we've been A-okay. You can see the cracks starting to form in the block below me. Let's just quickly just repair you. Only down to half health though. No real worries. This is even with ferals and kind of things showing up. No cops yet. I mean, cops clearly are a whole different kettle of fish. But I'm just up here with nothing but a tier 1 Blundy boy, a couple of pipes to repair it, and some cobblestone to repair the blocks. And you're fine. The only way you die here is if you forget to repair the block underneath you, or you fall off your platform. But so far, I mean, look, they're still spawning out there, but so far looking so good. Each wave of these is 33 zombies. You can see it here. They're to spawn 33. We're into our second wave now. So I've already murdered far more zombies than I care to mention. So we're turning through it nice and easily. So for an early horde game, an easy early horde game base, this will be fun. This will be A-okay. This will give you more than enough time to set yourself up. Usually by day 21, that's when I usually think that I should go and prepare myself. Ow! No, there's no vultures or anything. You're supposed to reach through and tickle me giblets. Normally by day 21, that's when I think you should probably start thinking about making yourself a better horde base. You can see by the loot bags down there how many zombies I've killed. But like for an early game horde base, this will be fine. I think that pretty much proves the point. These blocks down here are actually getting damaged more by me and my blunderbuss than the zombies themselves. That is something that's important to keep note of. You probably wouldn't have that problem on a normal horde night because you wouldn't be firing that many rounds. Like, how many rounds did I start off with for the Blundy boy? I used like half of my blunderbuss ammo, I think. I started with 150, I have 74 left. So I fired 75 rounds into that one spot. Didn't quite damage the block, or didn't destroy the block, but did do some damage. So you wouldn't have that problem normally, I don't think. Now, I guarantee you, someone out there will say that this is a bad design, it's not gonna work, and they'll deliberately set up a test that gets it to fail or some shit. I don't care. Whatever. If you want to find a flaw in this base, you will find a flaw in this base. But if you build it and you understand how it works and you actively fight to try and survive, not to try and get yourself killed, this will stand up just like that. there you go. That is the non-cheese easy base. Nice and simple, nice and quick. Not a lot of materials either. I used, how many cobble did I start with actually? I started with 1,000 cobble, only used 200 cobble, and I think you get like 70 or 80 for each one of those tarp pallet kind of things. So, doesn't take a whole lot of resources to get that done. The majority of it, as I said, is wood. It wouldn't take much just to repair the weaker spots, or all of it if you wanted to, up to cobblestone. So there you go, nice and simple, a nice easy base. That's the non-cheese version, but you know me, I like myself some cheesy goodness, like stuffing it in your fleshlight. So I'm gonna build myself a nice cheesy one as well to go alongside this one. Actually, real quick before I move on, because I was trying to think of what people might comment to be like to try and devalue the test that I did. You know, what they might complain about that I didn't test that they would like to see. And the only thing that I can think of, like I used a stone axe, I used shitty weapons. The only thing that I can think of is that I didn't test it with any dogs. Now, I was running a Horde Night, no dogs showed up. That's how it is. But I'll put in a couple of dogs just to see how they react to it all. I'm gonna come over here, please. There we go. If I come over here, what are you gonna do? Up to the top, easy as you like. I come up to the same place as all the other Muppets and hit the same block as the other ones. Where's the other one? There he is. He's coming around too. Dogs are fine too. No worries at all. Now, dogs will stack up, but that's why we have this here. They can't squeeze through that gap, so they're not going to come and give you any sort of issues. We know that from the hatch hallway over there. So it's dog-proof as well. Spider zombies are probably a later Horde Night thing. Let's see how they'll go anyway. Spider zombie felder, so I don't have to wait around for you forever. You'll probably jump at me. Gonna try and jump up here and land up here. You're gonna go around to where all the other zombies go. Nope, you've gone away the same way as everybody else. All right. Nice and easy then. I'll shoot you right in the asshole then with my blunderbuss. Easy as that. I was actually expecting the spider zombie to have a way up here. I wasn't expecting him to go the same way as all the others, but apparently he will. Old mate Boz has shown up for his little run at the circus as well. Put a couple of pellets into his schnoz. Alright, no worries then. Not only is it dog proof, it's also spider zombie proof. Can I reach you? Can I reach you with a spear? The hitbox is going weird. Yes, I can. Easy peasy. Easy bloody peasy, boys. I wanted to do that one first because that's mostly a new creation. It's working on principles we've used before. It's just kind of refining it a little bit and trying to do it in a minimalistic way. This next one is not something completely new. In fact, it is due to Alpha 19, but we've used it before right here. We know how to cheese the zombies now. We know how to keep them away and keep ourselves safe and completely negate all of their pathing. And it's really, really bloody simple. So I'll quickly just build it up in case you might have missed those other episodes. If you're brand new here and you're like, wow, this guy talks a whole lot and super fast and his accent's kind of weird, the subtitles don't understand him, I completely understand. So I'll quickly build it so you guys, if you want to cheese the Horde, if you want to make it so the zombies will never touch you, we can make that happen. All we're going to do is build ourselves a bit of an elevated platform and make them drop down, keep them away from us. Yes, they might go into destroy everything mode a little bit. In fact, the best way to do this would be to build it off an existing POI that has concrete or something, just in case. But you won't ever really be in danger unless they break down the entire structure around you. Now, previous to this update, this is B173. I would have recommended making this like 6 or 7 blocks tall, but apparently, according to the patch notes, they've now nerfed out the stuff we discovered about their ragdolling, which I did over here. So like with this one, the zombies now have a chance to ragdoll, but it's not as guaranteed. At least that's the way that I've been told that it works now. So we're not going to rely on the ragdolling for this. If you want to build it 6 or 7 blocks high, then you're probably giving yourself your best chance. In fact, how I said that really weird. I said like bloody Kath and Kim. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 7. It could go a little bit higher, so I can make this go to 5, I suppose. But it's not, you know, super necessary. The point here isn't to ragdoll when they hit the ground. That will benefit you because it will stop them from going into destroy everything mode quite as readily. Plus, when they do go into that, it wastes the time that they're going to be in destroy everything mode by being a floppy sausage on the ground. We're just going to go like this. Put a little landing up the top here and go like that. Now, I was going to make this out of ladders. You could make it out of ladders, but dogs can't climb ladders. If you're looking for something anti-dog, you do need to put some sort of ramp or stairs or something for them to get up to because their little paws, their little toes, their little jelly beans can't like grab onto the rungs just like I can't when I'm under pressure. So all the way up to the top like that. Now, there's two ways to do this. There's the way that I would prefer to do it, but there's also another way I've been seeing floating around the internet these days. It's not something that it is something that I did like way back in Alpha 17 is the first time I used these blocks. It just wasn't ever as good as other options, and the same goes for Alpha 19. We're going to use these steep wedge tip corners. We're going to go just kind of simple rotation and stick that onto there. Now, you can go all the way around using the same method we used for the 1/8 blocks back in the day, sticking them as far away apart as possible to give yourself the biggest gaps for the zombies to fall down into. Now, it doesn't look like that's supported, doesn't look like it should be supported, but it is. So you can go all the way out like that, and you've got nice big gaps there for the zombies to fall down on. Now, I know that this doesn't work perfectly just as is. Some zombies will get lucky and kind of bounce across all the way and get over to where you're standing on the other side. That is one of the big flaws and the reason why I don't particularly use this design much at all. It's not foolproof, but I wanted to show it anyway because it is an option you have. I'll put that there. That's where I'm going to stand. Let's send some zombies down it and I'll show you what happens. So as always, we've got some Chelseas and some dogs out here just to run the simulation for us. I'm not hopeful, but what I do want to do just before I get it started is, as always, you want to upgrade your weakest point. That pillar there is the weak point. I destroy that, this whole thing will come down. In fact, there's a good chance they probably will. I'm not sure if their pathing is as foolproof with this kind of design. I haven't really used it much in Alpha 19 as I would like it to be. I might even go sneaky deaky 30 cobblestone. Bonds are made level 22, but 30 cobblestone gets you that reinforced, which is more important than any other part of all this. I'll leave that as cobble. Let's go over here, get their attention, turn their AI on. I'm hoping they're going to go up the stairs. Yes, they are. Look, they're all going the right way. Dogs are getting a hang time over the top here. Look, oh, first drop, first puppy almost made it all the way across. There we go. Well, yeah, so we're getting some of them hop, skipping and jumping all the way across to the other side, which is not particularly great for me. The Chelseas are going down, but the dogs are making it across. They're long. They're basically sausage dogs. And they're getting all the way across here, either gnawing on my ankles or on the block that I'm standing on. So not particularly foolproof, but I do have a workaround for it. Chelsea, want to stand there for a second. Thank you very much. What I reckon is probably a good idea to do, we'll get rid of that one. We're just going to go and sneaky deaky. Let's go copy, not copy rotation. I want to get the right shape again. Grab that one and stick you out over here. If I get an extra little projection out this way, that should mean that I'm able to stand all the way out of the... out of harm's way, or I could just break my whole goddamn base myself. Because why not, Josh? Why don't you just bloody do it? Of course it's gonna collapse, you fucking great galah. For goodness sake, build your base properly. Stop being a muppet. Hey guys, this is how you build a base. Watch me fuck it up. Right, well, what I was trying to say before I just completely boned myself in every way possible is if you put a bit of an angle on this, that should stop them from having a way across. Now, I'm not sure if this is going to be the right way to do it. I'm just going to put like a little triple in the middle there that extends out to this way. It stops from having a direct line of sight, so when they're getting their speed up and they run up that stairs and catch some sweet air off the top like they're bloody taking a sweet bunny hop off their mountain bike, they're going to end up out here anyway, because they think that all this area here is one solid block for them to run on. So I'm hoping that will negate their pathing just that little bit more. If that doesn't work, I might get rid of that block on the corner there and flip it around to be on the other side, so there's a gap there that they can't actually use. But we'll see how we go just with this design. This should probably work, I think, but it would be harder to kill the zombies. We're much more relying on the cheese rather than actually having a way to defend yourself, because they're not coming in a straight line. It's harder to hit with arrows or spears or what have you. They come up, they go that way. Oops, she stumbled. There we go. Across and down. So far working a little bit better. They are catching that block a little bit more than I would kind of like them to, especially when they get all sorts of grouped up like that. They're falling down though. They're staying away. They're keeping off my giblets. Reasonably better, reasonably good. Oh, Chelsea's proven her theory. Just when I started getting comfortable, she came out there and she clapped me in the face with her ass cheeks. And now the dogs are doing it too. Okay, I think this will work. Let's just go like this. Just stick you there for the moment because I want to go get this one and just flip it around to be the other way. You could probably extend this out a little bit better, like off a POI, something with a bit more structural integrity. Like that. There we go. Let's just get you upgraded and get rid of that one. God, that looks hodgepodge. That looks absolutely awful, but... oh, actually, you know what? I can make this better. Alright, I think that should work just as well. Instead of having my block out there on the end of it, it's now off to the side. In fact, can I go What have I got? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I can go out a little bit further. I can go up to 8 blocks with my wood. So go like that one, just there. In fact, let's not even put... Let's just go straight from there onto the wooden frame we're going to stand on. Just like that. Let's not even give them a slope up to my block. Let's keep the gap there. That should be fine. There we go. Get their attention. Get their AI back on. They're not attacking the pillar at all, which is good. It's why we upgraded it. So they go up, they go down. They're all like bouncing off each other's noggins. One made it across. I think that was just an anomaly because there was so many grouped up together. But other than that, they're all going pretty well. Nope, maybe not. Maybe not. You know what? I gave this is why I don't use this design. A lot of people in the comments are talking about using these wedge tip corners. I just don't think they work as well as what people want them to. You look at them, they look like they're going to work really well, but they give the zombies a chance to get across to. So I'm going to call that one a no salada. No ham, no cheese, or salada on any of that. I'm going to get rid of this and go back to the design I was originally going to go with. Piss all that off, break the block that's left over from it. We're just going to go nice and simple. Something tried and true and that I know is going to work. Let's go here, advanced rotation. Put it up onto the side so the angle is facing down, just like that, all the way out, as long as you want. Doesn't matter how long you want to go, just matters how far you can go based on the support here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Once I got official live, easy as that, onto the end, all nice and structurally supported. Now, if it were me, I would probably have some sort of support over here as well. I have done it in the past, but I probably will do it here as well, because you want to be able to put yourself up a wall up here of half blocks. I'm going to build it without the support just for now. Half, there we go, just that one there. I'm going to build out support just for now just to see how far we can actually take this. I was expecting that to happen. It's not me being a muppet when I deliberately break it. So you are going to get support on the other side, but that's okay. Now we know. I know this video started out as like just a flat out tutorial, but it was always going to turn into a cheeky bit of experimentation. It always does when I'm in JaWoodle Park. That's how it started, that's how it's going to end. That's how it always is when I come here. Get the half block. So I've just built myself another pillar over here, just the same as that one, upgraded the bottom to cobblestone, only took another 30 cobble, not a massive deal, but having that being nice and strong will stop the zombies thinking tearing this whole thing down is going to be an option for them. I'm just going to put like this. Now all these half blocks are doing, in fact I'll quickly build the front of it so you can see. All these half blocks are doing is stopping the zombies having an option to run on top. Because if you leave that without it, they will run across those wedge tip blocks. But this pushes them out. They think they can run here. So they run out like that one. They fall down and they go and start again. Nice and simple, nice and easy. Tried and true. No real gamble here. All it does is just take the floor out from underneath them and make them fall down like the sacks of poo that they are. So it's probably not the most attractive base in the world. It looks like a wind cellar attached to a couple of stilts, but it'll do the job. All they're going to do is they're going to come over here, run up these stairs, get to the top, and then come down the other side. In fact, someone's damaged my stairs over here a little bit. Can you not do that? This is why you build the pyramid stairs. In fact, let's do that real quick. Let's go like this. Just get some more stairs. Doesn't have to be like the whole like nice aesthetic one, given this base is so ugly already. Whatever, we'll just ignore aesthetics for the moment. I know it goes against everything I've ever said, but just putting these things here will stop these guys getting trapped and they will actually make it up the stairs like I hoped they would. Okay. You know what? I'm so confident. Let's not even worry about it. Let's just go straight into Horde Night all the way. Let's go actually past 2200, past 10 o'clock. You're going to spawn the zombies in. I hope you are. Yes, you are. Okay, they're all coming that way. Come on, up the stairs, go over to the stairs, come up the top, come and face my pathing dilemma. Yes, there we go, they're coming the way they're supposed to, up the top, and down they go. Just like that. Now, you could just sit here with a bow and arrow and just pepper them all day, all night, as much as you really wanted to. In fact, what I am worried about is they're getting ragdolled, which is nice, but they're falling down next to the pillar. So some of them might go into destroy everything mode. This isn't completely like infinity proof. At some point, some zombies will do some damage somewhere, but they only go into destroy everything mode for about 5 seconds. So you don't have too much to worry about. That's why we made it cobble. That's why we upgraded that. It's taking us a little, like I got stuck on the edge for a little bit. That's fine, but we can make this a little bit better. Let's just go like this, get rid of you and you. Guys, just stop for 2 seconds. I appreciate everything you're doing for me, but I just need you to fuck off for 2 moments. Let's go here. Let's copy that shape. Copy shape, and then we're going to stick it just onto, that's the wrong way to go, just onto the edge over here, just to push them out just that little bit. Just so I don't have that solid edge to get caught on. I've talked about it before. Just like that. The old wind sail gimmick. All right, fair enough. Am I even in my body anymore? No, I'm not. There we go. Leave you there. Okay. There we go, they're all running again, so they come up now, get pushed off the sail down to the bottom. Done. Done and dusted. They come up, they take a swing, they fall down, they stack down at the bottom, but that's okay. If they fall all the way down, they go goopy, which we always like to see. They fall out of the zombie heads, doesn't count as a block, so they don't quite go as goopy. That's working fine. That's working just fine. This will get you through the first couple of Horde Nights. You have to kind of decide if you want to go the cheesy route or if you want to go the melee, like the non-cheesy melee route. This way, if they do break that pillar, you are going to be a little bit cooked. It's relying on one facet. The other one kind of is, but it's more repairable as you go along. You can stretch this out as well, make like a cheap killing corridor, so you can fire arrows into Muppets as they go. But just as is, you've got nothing to worry about with this. If it were me, I would build, but let's just kind of, we've proven the concept here. I would build just kind of this little bit here. For this block that I'm standing on, these wedge strips and the sail on top, I would build that just off a POI. The second story, at the top of the stairs, just build it off in like a more structurally safe wall out of concrete or whatever, just so the zombies still have to pile it up, still gonna fall down using the same mechanic, but you're not relying on something that you've built that might not be as strong as an existing POI. But just as that stands, that is a-okay. Let's get a couple of zombie dogs out there just to see how they're going to go too. Come on, guys. Up and down and up and down. Probably need another block there just to make it even more foolproof. The dogs are fine. Everything's fine. That block's looking a little bit worse for wear. Maybe make those blocks, you know, let's just go to cobble. Just like that. Just a sneaky little up. Oh my god, what has happened to that one? That's not normally how the buildings collapse. I may have just cooked that. That's my bad. That wasn't the zombies that did that. What the hell just happened there? I don't know why. I don't know how that base just exploded. Maybe something to do with upgrading that block while a dog was kind of inside it. Like for the momentary fraction of a second that block didn't actually exist between when it was a wood block and then up to cobble, the dog's ear like snuck inside the hitbox and the game bloody wigged out about it. Buildings don't explode like that when they collapse. They collapse downwards. But whatever, that happened. The game isn't perfect and that's why we love it. So, me personally, I would go and bunker down in a POI. Somewhere strong like a Bell's Bakery or something. Somewhere with strong walls. Have one access point for the zombies. Fight, stand, like, you know, stand to defend that point. Building like your own base early days is kind of a last resort. If there's no buildings around, just trees and a couple of bits of stone and clay, you can make yourself something like this and get through it. But me personally, I would go and bunker down, reinforce a strong POI to start with, and then build a proper base for day 21 or something. Something, for example, like the Extinction Base. But I'm going to show you how to build that Extinction Base and how it works, how to do it, what you need, all that kind of stuff. A tutorial on that base, because I forgot to do it for like the fists only and stuff. Did it later on. So I'm going to make sure that I do a build for that base before the series actually ends. I'm going to have to do that in another episode because this episode is done. So thank you guys for watching. Most of all, thank you to the patrons on Patreon who made this episode possible. If you liked, make sure you hit the like button down below, subscribe to this channel, follow me on Twitter. If I don't talk to you there first, I'll see you in the next episode. Have a good one.